Hello there, this is DBT, and these are the VROOMS. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8, and today we're actually gonna take a look at the update 64 patch notes, as well as checking and saying goodbye to one of my best MP tunes that I've done in this game, even if accidentally. So let's jump into the patch notes because, oh boy, there's some stuff to talk about, so let's do it. So over here I have the PDF file that Gameloft has provided to us, and we're gonna be reading through it. So it says, "Greeting Asphalt 8 racers. With Update 64 we bring you a slew of enhancements and new additions to improve your racing experience. As always, your feedback has been invaluable in shaping these improvements. In these updates, we've refined and polished some key aspects of the game to ensure a smoother, more enjoyable experience on the racing tracks. Though compact, rest assured that this update packs a punch in optimizing your racing adventure." And they do mean it when it says compact, because the reality is that these patch notes are very small, but you know, it's alright. Not every update can have a ton of new stuff. Sometimes it's better just to sit back and fix the stuff that is already in the game. So I can appreciate that way of looking at things. So let's start up with the new vehicles. That's right, new vehicles. There's 3 new vehicles you can see already. Premium Reward Treasure Rush, obviously meaning it's a treasure rush, the McLaren Solus GT. Then we have for a special event number 6, the McLaren Artura, and the Premium Reward Special Event 7, the McLaren GT. And well, I think it's pretty obvious to anybody that's reading this or seeing this that this update is all about McLaren. Now, if you're curious to know what these cars look like, here it is, or here they are. On the left side, we have the McLaren GT. On the center is the McLaren Solus, and on the right is the McLaren Artura. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I really personally don't care at all for the GT or the Artura, but the Solus, holy moly! For anybody that watches my Asphalt 9 content, you may or may not know that I fought really hard to get that car in Asphalt 9 in a Grand Prix and whatever, so I'd be interested to get it in this game, but oh boy, it's a treasure rush. Don't worry, we'll talk more about that in due time. For now, let's continue going in the patch notes. So, next up, the TLE Hub 2.0. So, TLE Hub is standing for Time Limited Events. Overhauled interface for time limited events. Well, it said right there. Why did I have to make that pause? Booster screen is now optional and must be manually accessed. That probably means, for example, when you go into the special events, probably the TLE hub means all of this section. When you click here, probably this is not going to be displayed in this way. But let's say that I want to do the Tushek TS900. Whenever I go into doing the race, I get over here, I go into start race, and then it asks me to use the boosters. So what I'm understanding from this patch notes is that this is no longer going to be the case, and instead you need to enter there manually, or maybe like it is in the special events, where it has this little option for you to do the boosters as you're seeing the main objectives of the what is it called, the whatever, where you do all of the objectives. Next up, display the corresponding status for not owned cars in TLE. I guess that is to be much more clear, like you don't own this this car. Maybe like when you're gonna access the TLE, if it requires, for example, the what car I don't have, the Bugatti Bolide. It requires a Bugatti Bolide. Before I even have to enter the event, it will have this little icon saying like you don't own this car, which is precisely how Asphalt 9 has done it. So I can appreciate that clarity, so that, I mean, what, you waste 5-10 seconds into looking, going into it and seeing if you have the car, but being clear from the get is a good thing, so I appreciate that. And your best car is now auto-selected for TLE with a manual option to change. So I don't know how to feel about this because, well, first, I think that this is how it is already. Like when you go into a TLE that has a selection of a bunch of cars, it will automatically have selected the best one, I believe. I'm not sure, but I think that's how it works. So I suppose the manual option is basically for you to select a particular car, and that will be the car, or whatever car is selected, like right here in the screen. I don't know why now I have the Tushek. I had the McLaren Senna. Oh, because I went into the TLE. But yeah, so once you have a car selected, because you were looking at it or whatever, that is the same car that will be automatically selected by default when you go there if you activate that option. But I really don't know, so we'll have to see. Next up, non-leaderboard TLE rewards can be claimed without waiting for the event to end. This is an interesting one, and I'm trying to think which type of time limited event is like that, because a lot of the time limited events are leaderboard based. And I don't know. I really can't think right now of any that isn't maybe the ones that are against the AI. No, because that also has a leaderboard on the times. I really don't know, so I'm curious to see what this is gonna be, but I legit have absolutely no clue. Next up, integration of certain special event conditions and TLE for additional rewards. This to me, it's a little bit of word salad because I don't understand what they mean by this. So it's some cross reference between special event and TLEs, but I really don't know. So unfortunately, this whole section of the TLE hub, I really won't know what it is, what it looks like until, well, we have a look at it. So stay tuned for whenever the patch releases. I'll be having a look at all of these points. But there we go. That's the TLE Hub 2.0, which seems to be one of the main things that they focus on doing here. And I've seen people complaining that this is indeed some short patch notes. We'll continue in a bit. But honestly, redesigning a UI and trying to find out what are the best places to link here, to link there, and how to organize it, I can see how that takes a lot of time. So yes, I can understand that this may have taken a while, but we'll see really how changed it is. Hopefully it's going to be for the better. Next up, the special event adjustment number 2, because in the previous patch notes we had the special event adjustment, so this is the continuation, I suppose. And it's only one change, that chip conditions are now displayed in the post-race screen. So I don't know if... Oh, maybe... Nah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I suppose it's about just showing you the conditions, but as far as I know, once you complete a condition, it still shows you at the end screen. It shows them marked with a check mark or something like, yeah, you did this. But I don't know what they mean is if you redo the race, all of those that you had already completed are still going to be marked. I really don't know. Again, it's a situation where we'll see how it is, and then we can talk about it. Next up, health notice screen. Added a health notice screen for all platforms. Now, I believe that the Windows platform already had one like this. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know exactly. It says health notice, so I would imagine that it has to do with flashing lights and the potential for seizures and all of that. A lot of games have this nowadays, so yeah, that makes sense. Though, honestly, it's not super interesting as an addition for the patch notes, but hey, it's there. Next up, Racing Pass 8 and 9. The Racing Pass number 8 is gonna have the McLaren P1 and the McLaren Senna, and it starts on the 10th of October. Honestly, this, to people that are collecting McLarens, this might be worth it if A, you don't have both of these cars, and B, because the McLaren P1 is a car that sells for tokens. Didn't you know that tokens are expensive in this game? So if you really want, and you cannot get tokens in any other way that isn't by paying money. So at the end of the day, if you really want this car, in some way or another, you have to pay money. But by getting the Racing Pass, you can get the P1, the Senna, and on top of that, a ton of parts along with a bunch of kits for these cars and other cars. We'll see what else, what other ones are featured over there. Then for the number 9 Racing Pass, it's gonna be the McLaren Elva and the Speedtail, and that one starts on November the 7th. This one isn't necessarily as, what would I say, as convenient. I don't know. It's just that the McLaren Elva, I got it a long time as a free car in a festival, so I already have it. The Speedtail, I very recently actually bought it on a video. Link should be appearing in the top right if I remember to do it. Where I bought this car with the multiplayer coins because, well, I have a bunch and there's nothing for me to spend them on other than in some cars I may not be super interested on, but hey, they're there. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. You have to let me know in the comments if this sounds like an interesting one. Maybe the McLaren SL is much more rare than I thought, and I just have been having it there forever and not noticing that it's not a common car. But yeah, those are the Racing Pass. Remember, normally they tend to be $10. I don't see why they would change the price for that. So whether or not you feel like that is worth it, that is completely subjective. It's up to you, but those are the options over there. Also remember that getting the Racing Pass also give you extra fuel, but yeah, there's that. Next up, Treasure Rush, and oh boy, this hurts my soul a little bit. Why? First of all, the Pagani Utopia Coupe. Now, for people that know me, or that have watched my videos, you know that I really like Pagani. Not to the level of Lamborghini, but I definitely like Pagani. And as of now, I have all the Pagani cars except the Utopia, because I didn't buy it when it was $30. So I didn't want to spend $30 on the car. Now if I want it, it's not $30. I have to gamble a bunch of dices in order to try to get it, or straight up pay, I think it's like $150 or something to get it. I don't think I'm gonna go for it. I want the car, but not that much. But yeah, next up, the McLaren Solus also Class S. This is the only information so far that we have in the rank of the class, the McLaren Solus GT S-Class. I have no idea exactly the rank, but if it's gonna be a Treasure Rush, I would imagine it's gonna be 1862. Now, not all Treasure Rush are like that. I don't think so. Let me think. No, there was a Treasure Rush for the Porsche 911. That was 1770. But whatever. I think it's gonna be 1862 just because it's kind of hurts me a bit because I really want this car. But man, Treasure Rush. It's gonna be a random situation or pay a whole lot of money. I'm not making promises, all right? I'm gonna try to stay strong and not spend dumb amount of money on a car that I want, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I'll stay strong. Next up, it also hurts me because it's the Bugatti Bolide, another car that I missed my chance to get twice, in fact. I think I really like this car, but Treasure Rush, and it starts on the 23rd of November. Again, but we have the McLaren Solus GT decal, so. Is that going to be an animated decal or just a static decal? This is not clear. Bugatti, the DBT'S, basically the outfix, expanded the scope of 6.0. That's right, they made it 1860, putting it in the top of the bracket, but not as an end bracket. They increased the... Literally one single rebalance, only going to be the sexto elemento, notes and bug whenever you're entering. Showing, I think? Good. I think that just means precise collision where they're clipping through the go. Fix progression error after multiplayer event race if there's no active season pass. So obviously, as I normally say in this type of other notes, it's a bunch of little things that I may not know exactly what it is, but there we go. I'm just giving you a bit of an overview of what all of these patch notes are. So there you go. This is basically the entirety of all the patch notes. Like I said, it's just 2 pages and there's not a whole lot other than, well, 3 new cars, TLE adjustments, the racing pass info, I guess, Treasure Rush cars, some decals, and one. It's no wonder to. All right, so what is so Millennium? Just look at it. It is so beautiful. What a beauty of a car. So, all right, what's the deal with this car? As I mentioned, obviously, everybody knows the rank is 1806. So if I were to pro this car, it would be matched against the 1860 type of car, so it's incredibly under-ranked. However, the performance of this car is surprisingly good, all things considered, but yeah, it needs some help. However, as I mentioned, I have an MP tune for the bracket of 1772, but it was an accidental. And I'll show you what the tune is if you want to do it in the last couple days while this thing is still alive. It's 10-8-10-8. That is the tune, and as you can see, I have already a bunch of parts because I'm ready to upgrade. I've been ready to upgrade this for a while. So let me activate the boosters and find some races. You know that I've been a Lamborghini collector for a very long time in this game, and this is obviously, well, a Lamborghini, so it was always my objective. Collected at some point, I did, and when I got this car, the brackets weren't still a thing. So at that time I was like, yeah, I'll upgrade the car, I don't care how it performs, and because the brackets weren't a thing, this car could still get matched against cars of its own rank. It would get, oh, come on, dude, really? Only because I haven't turned on the V12. I'll do it in the next race. But this thing would get matched against cars of a very similar rank. It would get matched, for example, against 4 GTs, which were 5 rank or 6 rank underneath this. It was 6. Against the Rizvani Beast, which, believe it or not, back in the day was a Class A car of almost 1800 rank. It was like 1790 something. It was crazy. And then it would also get matched against cars of a higher rank, for example, like the Lambo SVJ, which was 1820. So this car would definitely have a lot of opportunities to shine, but as I said at the time, well, I acquired a car and I was like, yeah, I need to upgrade it, and I very, very slowly started upgrading it, and I got a 4th place because I kept it fully electric. This game has a secret option, totally, I'm not making it up, where you turn on the V12, and that's what I'm gonna do. But all right, there's what I lost against. Let's get to another race. This time I will turn on the V12, I promise. That's how this car performs. But anyway, so yeah, I was upgrading the car slowly, but you know, at the time the upgrades were considerably expensive. Not as expensive as they are today, but back then there were not as many ways to get fusion. Ah, come on, you And I forgot to turn the V12 again. What's wrong with me? Jesus Christ. I'm supposed to be showing this car to be... Oh, and you know what? I brought the wrong color too. That's why I'm losing, totally. But yeah, so I was upgrading the car. It was expensive. The fusion coins weren't as easy to acquire back then. So it took me a while, and I got this car to the current rank, the current upgrade level, and then the brackets happened. Suddenly the brackets happened, but you know, I never even paid attention to it until one day I was like, oh, let me drive my Terzo Millennium. Where do I have it? And then I realized that I had it at exactly the right rank for the Class A bracket. And I'm like, whoa, that's unbelievable. And on top of that, it performs absolutely great. Now, it's not that it's a king car or anything, but for a car that was accidentally MP-tuned for it, and for this to perform so good, man, that was great. So I've been enjoying this MP-tune ever since, and I've had all of the parts ready to apply the last 4 upgrades that I'm missing for whenever this car get rebalanced, wherever it was gonna get rebalanced, whether it was gonna be ranked down a little bit and put in Class A, or ranked up and put in Class S. I was ready for it either way. So another not great result. It's fine. It's fine. Now, I brought a good color this time, and make no mistake, I might not be getting great results, but the reality is that this MP-tune, it is great. I could be driving the best car in the game and I'm still gonna get L's, because that's just how I am. But, no, legit, this tune has been surprisingly good and very reliable. I love playing with this thing. Obviously, I can only play with this car until I have reached the Elite League, because it's a Class S. But once I do, it's always fun to bring it back into Class A races, simply because it's a very, very good performer. So that's why I was saying that, oh god, I'm fine. That's why I'm saying that I hope that this car, in the process of being rebalanced, doesn't get butchered. No! I'm fine. I hope it doesn't get butchered in the process of being rebalanced, because sometimes it does happen. Some cars that had insane or really good in general stats, once they get rebalanced, they lose some of the edge that they had. In order to, you know, be more average, I suppose. I hope this car is not average. It took so long for this car to be rebalanced. I want to believe that that means that GameLog was saving it to be one of the great rebalances. You know, cars that became surprisingly good after our rebalance. So I hope this is the case. I don't need it to be a king, all right? Again, not advocating for it to reach a king status, but just don't make it terrible. So, all right, at 3rd place, again, not insane results, but considering, hey, you know what? I lost 2 Lamborghinis. So I'm not too upset. Actually, we're gonna look at the podium because that's gonna look beautiful. Oh, look at the Lambos. Now, not my favorite Lambo by any means, but hey, at least they're Lambos, so I can appreciate that. Oh no, I got the bug. Hold on. Can I fix this? I got this bug earlier where I see nothing. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. All right, it's not fixed, but I think if I press the... Nope, it doesn't go away. Oh, I hate this bug. All right, I'm gonna have to quit this race. Okay, hopefully no more bug. I straight up restarted the game and see if that helps. And by the way, that's an issue on my side. That's of the emulator. That is not a bug that I've noticed when I'm playing in my actual cell phone. So yeah, emulator issues. That's kind of the price you have to pay. But anyway, so I did want to mention that right now the Terzo Millennium, you can still buy it for, I believe it's 3.2 million Fusion coins. You may want to do that if you're interested in getting this car. You may want to do it now, because once the car gets rebalanced, there's a good chance it will be taken off the store. Now, that's not permanent. Normally, after the rebalance, after they get taken off the store, eventually they return. But it will return at a full Class S price, which is going to be 4 million Fusion coins. So that means right now, if you're really interested in getting this car, you can get it with an 800,000 Fusion coins discount. So maybe you want to do that if you're interested in the car. Like I said, I really don't know if the car after the rebalance is going to be good. So keep in mind that there's always a chance that the car might end up becoming absolute garbage, but hopefully that's not the case. But look at this beauty. It's absolutely... And this time I didn't turn on... Let me turn on the beat off just for the last section. Oh yeah, baby! And speaking of this car, that it could go all wrong or it could go all right, if you want to get a heart and a pin in this video, you need to leave me the key phrase, which for today is going to be... The Terzo King is dead. Long live the Terzo King! First person to post it is gonna get a heart and a pin. Everybody else that posted afterwards is only gonna get a heart, because I can do only 1 pin. But look at this beauty! It's gorgeous! And let's hope that it's a good rebalance. Alright, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because we're trying to reach